Now come on, come all to this tragic affair. Wipe off that makeup, what's in is despair. So throw on the black dress, mix in with the lot. You might wake up and notice you're someone you're not. If you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, you can find out firsthand what it's like to be me. So gather round, piggies, and kiss this goodbye. I'd encourage your smiles, I expect you won't cry. Another contusion, my funeral jag. Here's my resignation, I'll serve it in drag. You've got front row seats to the penitence bar. When I grow up, I want to be living. I say,
welcome back to the Blazing Bomb. I'm gonna get these rolling real quick. Give me 1 second. What do you want, Mr. Kitty? Shoo! God damn it! It's been up my ass all fucking day. What his fucking problem is. Alright, what's up, what's up, what's up? Mr. Kitty, you fucking dickhead. He's a dick and he knows it. Oh, damn. I just missed a cunt hair on the left side of the screen, but it's all good. What's up, Drinky Crow? Drinky Crow up in this bitch. I think. What the fuck, dude? Just spilling weed everywhere. What in the actual fuck, dog? No, don't come over here begging for shit. You ain't getting nothing. I don't have nothing for kitties anyway. That's why your food is over there. No. Stupid cat. Why are you being a bad cat? Huh? Had to get some more rock salt and alcohol for the bong. And some more Tylenols. I'm almost out. Alcohol. It's just a huge stack of shit right here for now. I'm gonna clean up this weekend. I didn't really get a chance to do much this weekend with Juliana's graduation and all the craziness going on, so I'll do a deep, I don't even need to do a deep clean, I just need to do like a regular pickup, I guess. But I do need to vacuum pretty badly. Get all these damn cat pellets out of here. Alright. I'm about to choke out a whole bowl right here. Let's see what the fuck happens. Wait, okay, I'm only streaming to 4 platforms. Thought I was streaming to multiples, but, or more than 4, but it's just the 4, I guess. Alright, so tonight is more of the same. I don't have a whole lot of time, because last night, or I should say this morning, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep because my mom decided it would be a good idea to wake me up at 9:30 in the morning because there were a handful of dishes that needed to be washed. And I told her I would do them before work. At 3:30 p.m. So yeah, needless to say, I was a little fucking pissed that I got woken up about 5 hours earlier than I was supposed to be. But yeah, so tonight it's gonna be smoking, Elden Ring, smoking, Elden Ring, out. So we're gonna smoke what's in the grinder here, probably fill it up one more time. I'm gonna choke a couple of these down real quick while I look for the next song, because I love Weezer, but there was a My Chemical Romance song I wanted to listen to. Thor, stop it, dude, I can hear you through the fucking headphones. Dude, why? Why? Don't do it. No, sir. Bad kitty. Get your feet. Get your feet. Not my feet, so fucking bite you in the fucking face, I swear to God. You get your toes. You get your toes. You get your toe beans. We eat your little toe beans. Meow. Meow. Bad cat. You're so cute. You silly boy. But yeah, anyway, I love Weezer, but there was another song I had in mind that I wanted to listen to. It was high energy. Maybe it was in this other playlist. Oh, this is the one. It's right fucking here. Alright, this song only has about 40 seconds left. So I'll just let it play through. Jennifer Carlos, 1624. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate that. I'm about to choke down this bowl right now. But I have to make a determination first. Yep, that's what I thought. Another bot. Bots galore. Alright, what's going on here? There we go. I'm alright, Jennifer, and you? Oh god, why is that? Dude, that sounds horrible. Why does that sound like that? My mic sounds god-awful. You arrived just in time, Jennifer, because I'm about to get started on this. Dogzilla has been nice and cleaned out, looks brand new again, ready to rock and roll. So we're blasting off in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, and blast off. You can, but I'll be totally honest with you, I don't have any money to pay anyone for art. But if you're just like trying to get your name out or something and you just like need some sample, to go for it, dude. I'm all for it. Yeah, I have like no community to speak of whatsoever, or I would probably just pay you just to pay you for it, just to be nice. But I don't make money from Twitch. I just do it just because they have endless storage that my PC does not. Alright, yeah, where is it? If I could find the fucking thing, Jesus Christ. I have so many apps open right now. Here's my username.
So nice, so low, she's bringing out the flavor. She's 17, but I don't win them plum forgot it. No kiss a go, now put it on the table. No kiss a go, now leaving them on
And the spilled weed all over the floor. That would have been horrifying. Bro, what is on me? It's like fucking spider webs or something. It's like checking for loose hairs and shit. No. What the hell's going on? Yeah, that's really weird. This whole time I thought a fly was landing on me. It's goddamn stray hair. Yeah, I just got it. Wait a minute, what the hell? Oh, he must be in his own voice channel, maybe. Oh yeah, there he is. He's just chilling. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Drinky Crow. I guess he's just chilling. Which, by the way, Crow, if you are here, I'm gonna have to get a one bedroom to start, alright? But, I'm gonna call the place tomorrow because if it's the same place I applied at previously, they'll allow me to change to a 2-bedroom unit in the middle of a lease. It's not a big deal because you'd be paying more, so they're not gonna be like, no, you can't pay more for, no. They might extend the lease though, is a thing. So if I sign like a 12-month lease and I get 4, 5, 6 months to it, and then you show up and we go to a 2-bedroom, then it'll start over. It won't continue. It'll start a fresh lease all over. 15, 18 months, something like that. But I mean, I'm cool with that, and it would help me get my hustle on once I get my car out. Yo, what up, Terry? Just chilling. I'm about to bake this other bowl, and then bake this last bowl, and then try to beat this fucking game again. I have a little bit more time than I did last night, though, because I don't have to get up at the ass crack of dawn or anything. And Jennifer, I apologize in advance, because I most likely won't get around to the Discord convo tonight, simply because I'll be doing this whole thing, but I will get around to it. More than likely in the morning. It will be like a week or 2 weeks from now. It'll be like, tomorrow or the next day. You got in the Discord too? Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, I wanted to, what's it called, yeah, I wanted to catch it live, but, I didn't know what time it was on. And then, by the time I was getting ready to put it on at work, there was only like an hour left, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna I hate listening to like a part of a podcast because I wouldn't have finished it unless I was at work. So I'll probably put it on tomorrow while I'm at work. Oh, and Jennifer, yeah, you go right ahead. You show me whatever, and like you said, we can just kind of go from there and cross each bridge as we come to it. You know what I mean? Oh, this chat. Okay, my bad. I was like, the Discord chat, I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah, regular voice chat.
Yeah, I know. I was tripping. No, actually I was tripping too because this girl, Jennifer came in and I was like, dude, I get so many fucking bots that are just like, they're just like, what's it called? Like pushing their pages or whatever. I was like, she was the first one that actually, like, she actually like is talking and shit. Usually they'll send a message and then I'll say something and then they'll reply and that's it. That's how you know it's a bot. You know what I mean? But no, she was actually like, and she's in my Discord DMs, so we're talking about art for the stream and stuff.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So, shout out to Jennifer Carlos1624 if anyone needs artwork for their channel. That's what she does. I would. I'm just entirely too lazy for it, to be honest, and I don't have the proper equipment. Personally, I would need a graphics tablet for that, and I have a drawing tablet, but it's not the same. Drawing tablet is just that. It's for like animation and stuff, like simple animation, not anything advanced. But like graphics design and shit like that, yeah, you definitely want one of those. And you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like, it looks like a giant iPad, but it's basically just for drawing.
Yeah, man, I can never find any good local graphic designers here. All my friends that say they do graphic design, they always just like let me down on stuff or never get projects done. I actually am hiring this dude who lives in fucking Peru. He lives in Lima, Peru. I met him on the Atlanta Reddit because he had drew these pictures of like the characters from Atlanta. Nice. And I was like, damn, these are so dope. Could I turn these into hat pins and I'll pay you for each one I sell? And he was like, of course. And he gave me the design. I turned in the pins and I'm like, oh yeah, where do I mail these to, by the way? He's like, oh, I live in Lima, Peru. I'm like, oh, fuck me.
That's fucking nuts.
But he's a cool dude. Those pins came out real awesome, but I sent him. I sent his shit to Peru, but I was like just so mad. I was like, man, I never find anybody local. I had to like turn to the internet and not work with a dude out of Peru, but fucking make it worldwide.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Yeah, now it doesn't matter as long as they can send it electronically. That's why I love this job that I have. Like the job, it's it's easy as fuck. First of all, so it's kind of boring actually. But it's also intense because you're just typing and looking at license plate pictures, but you have to do so many per hour that there is no time to just sit with your thumb up your ass, you know. But it's chill at the same time. Like I'm literally sitting here smoking weed all day. But unlike the call center side that I came from, we were having audio issues and all kinds of technical shit. There was not our system, so it was their system, right? So they were like, all right, y'all go to image review then. We're like, all right, cool. Well, over there, like, I have to have a hardwired connection. It has to, I mean, obviously it has to be a certain speed because it has to be able to support a certain bandwidth, right? Well, image review, you just need to be able to look at images. Like, you just need to be able to load sets of up to like 10 images at a time, and they're small. They're like 1 by 2 inch images. So they flat out told us, like, because some chick asked, she was like, what if, you know, because she had a fuckload of vacation time and PTO saved up and stuff, and her family had booked a cruise, but she said she was not going on the cruise. She was going to stay in Miami while the family went on the cruise. And then, you know, she was going to meet up, do her own thing while they were gone. But it was a whole, like, 3-4 week thing. So she was like, what do I do? And they're like, well, you know, are you gonna be in a motel or a hotel? Or like, she's like, no, I have a fucking aunt or whatever that lives there, and you know, she has internet. She's like, oh, well, there you go. And so then I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, so you're telling me that we, in Image Review, we can work from anywhere as long as we have internet and it's stable and speeds and all that, right? And they're like, yeah, pretty much. They're like, but they don't want you like moving around. They're like, if you're gonna be in a spot, be there for like a couple weeks or a month or whatever. And then I was like, dude, you just fucking stamped my ticket to everywhere. You have no fucking idea. I was like, now the only thing stopping me, aside from obviously money, is a passport. That's it. That's the only thing. And the money is really not that big of a deal because not only does like I could get overseas flights through Southwest through my sister-in-law and only pay the taxes because obviously Southwest doesn't fly to Europe, right? So I'd fly through Southwest on a Delta flight or an American flight, but I would only pay the taxes, which would be like, and I did the math on it, the last time I checked was like less than $100.
They can do that? Southwest will go through?
Yep. It's called a standby pass, and because technically it's her pass, but she can, if she doesn't want it or doesn't need it, she can hand it out to anyone she wants. It doesn't have to be a relative, anyone. She could just be some stranger. Hey, you know, like she has a stream channel or something like me.
Yo,
hey, who wants a giveaway? Right?
I'll give her like $300 to $500 for those passes. Then.
No, I mean it's not like she gets them all the time though. Like okay, so you know how like when we were at IBEX, right? You had to work 2 weeks to get like a half a day of PTO, right?
Yeah, right.
It's very similar. It's a point system. So every hour that she works, she gets like 1,000 points or something like that, which sounds like a lot, but it's the same as like Best Buy rewards points or some shit where
those points are only worth like a couple pennies to the dollar.
But she's already like she's flown me to Vegas once, and I forget, I took another flight, I can't remember where it was, 2 flights for me. They themselves have flown her and the whole because they can fly. She, my brother, and the kids can fly for free, like straight up on Southwest. If they do another airline, they still have to pay taxes, and then it's standby only at that point for them. For me, it's standby only regardless, even if it's Southwest.
Right.
But direct family, they get it. But anyway, they've gone to Vegas. They've gone to Vegas 3 times actually. They've gone to California twice. They've gone to Florida. They've gone to South Padre Island. Like they've gone a lot of different places, and this is just within the last. You got to think she's only been there. Well, shit. Actually, she's been there like 7 years now.
No, I was about to say she's been there as long as I've known you, because I think she had like.
She pretty much just started there right after we met.
We're working there like when I met.
Yeah, I mean literally months before we met, she started there. And
right.
She was.
Think about how long I've been in Denver the other day, because I was like, no, I just left Texas like. And I was like, oh fuck.
It's been like 2 years.
It's almost like 4 years, dude.
It feels like 2 because of COVID, but I think it's more like 3 because
you
left in like 2019, right?
Yeah, I left at the beginning of COVID.
Beginning in 2019, or into 2019. Yeah. So about 3 years then. 4 years. Yeah, you're right. Fuck, I keep forgetting we're 2023.
It's been fucking 4 years, right? That's why I was like, man, I've only been gone for like 2 years, I think,
insane.
right? Not 4 years.
But, what's it called? Yeah, so they get all that right, but here's the thing too is she's got Beats, she's got JBL wireless speaker, like, and not like I have the like $50 one. It's pretty nice, right? It's waterproof, but it's small. It's loud, but it's small. Nah, she got that big, really badass motherfucker. It's like $300, and all she had to do was work for like 3 weeks, just her normal ass schedule, 3 weeks, and then boom, there you go. Same thing with the Beats. About, she said 2.5, 3 weeks, Beats. Boom, there you go. And like, she could get anything. They sell Amazon gift cards. They're sell, but you know what I'm saying. They exchange the points. But she could get literally anything. She said people have bought fucking cars with their Southwest points. You can buy vacation time. Yeah, and dude, they're unionized, right? And unlike most unions, their union bosses are badasses. Their union bosses actually change every so often if they're not doing what the union terms are. If they're not upholding the union terms, the union has the right to go and vote them out. And on top of that, they renegotiate their contract. I think it's every 2 years or 3. Or maybe 3 years. They have to go and re-ratify their contract, and every time they get a little more and a little more. The company never takes back anything. They always give them a little more, and it's still kind of like, oh, well, you can still look at it as breadcrumbs or whatever, but dude, like, this one chick...
Because I know the pilots are, like, pissed off again, right?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, the pilots and the rest of the staff, it's different, but the pilots, it's like... They're part of 2 separate unions almost, because they're part of Southwest, but I don't think that's not an actual union, right? That's just their Southwest employment, but then they belong to the actual
pilots.
United Pilot Workers or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but
like all pilots throughout.
They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because they have to abide by whatever Southwest says, but they also have to go by the union. So they're, and then pay and all that gets thrown in, and it gets really fucked. So Southwest has to toe that line with the union, with the federal government, and with the pilots. And they have to make sure that they do right by all that. And Southwest, I'll give them that. They do their best. They're funny because they're similar to JetBlue or Spirit in that, like, their customer kind of comes last, but in a weird way. Like, not like across the board. It's like, you have to push their buttons, but they don't have very many buttons to push. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, kind of like it's
very few.
You can fly Southwest, but once you figure out how to fly Southwest,
it's awesome.
I hate flying any other airline.
Dude, it sucks.
Because I just know Southwest in and out. Like, I know when something goes wrong, I know exactly how to fix it now.
Right.
Like, even when things like fuck up, it's like, well, I know how to do it.
Even if it's like an interpersonal problem, like with you and a ticket agent or something, or a TSA, not a TSA, but like a gate agent or something. It's you figured out the ways to kind of dissolve those situations. Whereas like with other airlines, it's almost like they're indoctrinated with policy and nothing else, and it's like, dude, you just can't get around it at all. But Southwest, if you're not a complete asshole, Southwest will work with you. Or if you're not being a drunk asshole, they'll work with you. But they have 0 tolerance for drunk assholes, I'll tell you that right now. And I don't mean drunk people, because, dude, that last time I flew back from Vegas, the guys that I was sitting next to, I ran into at the dispensary the previous night. They were from Dallas. They were flying back to San Antonio to get to Dallas. And, they thought I was dying. They were about to call the fucking stewardess over, and I was like, or flight attendant, I looked over as he was about to hit the button, and he goes, dude, are you alright? And I had a drink in my hand. I was like holding the drink up, but I hadn't drunk any of it yet. I was like almost passed out in it. And I went over and like went to choose him, and I was like, it's fucking Vegas, bro. I was like, I was just partying hard for like 3 days. What the fuck are you think? And they all start laughing. They're like, oh shit. I was like, so let's party. I was like, we partied 3 hours on the plane back. Because we had a layover in San Diego too, so. It was weird. We flew from Vegas to San Diego and back to San Antonio.
Right, those where they make you go forward and then back. I was like, that's such stupid.
And we somehow did it in 3 hours. I don't know how we pulled it off, but it was awesome. But dude, I was drinking the whole time.
I try to look for flights that connect me in Dallas now, though, so I can go to Whataburger.
Oh yeah, because there's one right there in the fucking airport, isn't there?
Right, because yeah, the Dallas airport has a Whataburger in it. So every time I like try to fly to Texas, I'll try to make sure, or like if I have to fly anywhere where just across the coast, I'll just try to make sure it's like, if there's a layover, I was like, make sure I stop in Dallas then, because Dallas is their hub, so it's like, yeah, you can go anywhere from Dallas. So I was like, yeah, just
and that's where you go like for training and shit. Like when she got hired, they fly you out from wherever unless you're already there. But they'll fly you out. They train you for, I think it's like 8 weeks or whatever. So she was gone for 2 months, and she only they went up there to visit her for a weekend, and she came down for a weekend and shit like that. But it was pretty much, she was there for 2 months. They paid for all of her food. They gave her a stipend for, like, spending money and Ubers and shit. Oh, no, they paid for all of her Ubers and then gave them a stipend. It was not a whole, I mean, it was like 120 bucks a week, so it was like, save it, spend it, whatever, you know, per diems, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But, she went from making about what I make now, I make just over 17, to making, I think now she's making like just over 22. And that's just her wage. That's not including the stock options and all the points things I was telling you about, all the benefits. And I would say perks, not benefits. Because there's the benefits, right? The health, dental, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the perks, which is like all of that other shit I was telling you, all the real nice shit. And it's like, all of that, she might as well be making $30 an hour when it's all said and done. She's actually the breadwinner over my brother. Now. I mean, he still makes decent money, too. I think he's making like 18 or 19, maybe 20.
I think me and Vina are tied now, because I have all my stocks now.
So, like, between that and her wage, it's kind of like almost a deadlock. She's pharmacy tech, right? Or is she the lead pharmacist now?
Yeah, she's the lead pharmacist.
That's
I think, no,
right.
actually now she's the pharmacist manager.
Because that's what that testing and shit she was doing, right? When y'all were first kind of going back and forth. I remember you telling me about that when y'all were still here.
Ooh. No, she was just getting a new state license.
That's right, that's what it was, the licensing exam. What's it called? No, dude, I saw a fucking girl that looked exactly like Vina at, it was either H-E-B or the liquor store a couple weeks ago. And I was about to fucking turn and say something, but I was like, no, that's not her, because A, I know that she's up there with you, and B, this girl was like, at least like 6 inches taller than Vina. But like the exact same build, I swear to God, was like, she was Vina, but just taller. Like, that was the only difference. Even the same style and everything, like the way she dressed and everything, I was like, what the fuck, dude? So weird. Her doppelganger. Near doppelganger, I would say.
I do kind of want to leave out of Denver. This place is just too fucking expensive, you know? Especially since I'm not really... The only thing I do miss, though, or would miss, or what would suck, is that the health insurance over here is way fucking better. And, like, getting approved for Medicaid was a whole lot easier to get accepted in there. And, man, I had to have, like, my gallbladder taken out.
Oh.
And I had that hernia surgery, bro. I paid, like, $100 total, I think, for all the doctor visits and all that shit.
Damn.
So, like, that's why I was like, man, I don't kind of want to leave Colorado, because, like, I mean, it's slow as fuck. I can tell you that it's slow, and it'll take you a while to get appointments and stuff, but, like, you will get seen, and you will get stuff done. You won't die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as long as I'm not dying, and as long as we're not talking dental with my teeth, because tooth pain is the one type of pain that I will literally want to blow my fucking head off just to end the pain. Like, that's...
For dentistry, I've just never gone. I need to go to the damn dentist, because I know it's covered right now.
Dude, I need about $25,000 worth of work on my teeth, because I need to get like 4 or 5, I need to get all of my molars pulled. Every tooth behind my bicuspids needs to come out, because they're just gone, like, gross. And then the rest need to be straightened, and then I need implants put in, and the implants are about, well, they're about $6,000 a pop, but if you get like all on 4, or I would do all on 6, so that way I didn't lose a lot of bone and shit, bone atrophy. That's about $20,000.
Have you thought about going over to Molar City?
What is that?
The place over in Mexico, just across the border.
Oh fuck, no, I don't have a passport.
You don't need a passport for Mexico yet.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you needed. They passed that right after I left El Paso because we were pissed because when we went back for my cousin's graduation in like 2012. Yeah, it was 2012 because it was literally 2 weeks before my dad
I
died.
thought that was just for Canada.
No, it was the entire U.S. So like if you want to enter, it's not to go anywhere. It's to get back into the country. Like you could go to Mexico, that's not a problem, but good luck getting back in.
Dude, damn, I thought you could still cross and go to Mexico.
Now, I think if like let's say if I were to go to El Paso, right, and I go to Juarez, I think you can like walk across, and that's okay. Weirdly enough, but you have to walk back. Like you can't like walk in and get a cab back or something like that, or get a ride. Like you have to. They documented it all and shit too now. Whereas before, you just paid the 35 cents or whatever, just walk through the turnstile. But they went through and changed all of the tech and everything too. So I don't know if it's an ID scan or like a fucking, like I said, it might be a passport. I don't know. But I do remember they passed the law right before my cousin's graduation because we were all gonna go party over there, and he was the one that was like, no, remember everyone, we can't go unless you have he was the only asshole that had one at the time. He was like, I can go. We're like, fuck you, dude.
Okay, well, if you have to go to a passport, then you might as well go with my second option, which I gotta bring up, is Istanbul. Apparently, Istanbul is like the next hottest place to go get either dentistry done, or if you're suffering from male pattern baldness. Like, I've never seen so many group of men with like headbands and stitches all on top of their head that I've seen in Istanbul. At first, I didn't even notice it because I saw one dude and I just thought he was like some kind of poor person who like had an injury. And then like I saw another dude and I was like, well, was that the same guy? Same guy.
It's like you have less hair now. What the hell?
Right? And then like my friend messaged me and he's like, hey, you there to get some hair transplants or get your teeth done? I was like, the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, Istanbul's like the best place for people to go to get their dentistry work done or hair implants for real cheap. And I was like, oh. And then I started noticing more and more dudes with headbands, and then I would see like fucking groups of them. Like dudes on
like LeBron James and shit with the headband like all the way up here.
Yeah,
like...
with their headbands, and you see like their heads are kind of swollen and fucking red, and you're like, oh, they all come here to get their hair transplants. And then like if you look at people's mouths, you see a lot of them with all this like cotton and shit in their mouths and stuff. Their cheeks
spitting
are all
everywhere, spitting blood on the street. Like, that's hilarious.
Istanbul was a trip.
I was gonna say that. I've heard isn't Istanbul pretty badass though? Like,
yeah,
food's great and shit too.
Good. Yeah, fucking food's fantastic. But it's like you see the women and like one woman is in a full-on like head-to-toe burqa. You can only see her eyes, and then like the chick right next to her is in fucking booty shorts with her tits out, and you're just like, what's going on in this country?
Like, make it make sense.
Dude, it was like the mix. If you're like, eventually the world will be mixed with all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Look at Istanbul. Because I couldn't tell who was from that country and who was from where. Everybody was so different looking. It was kind of amazing to see that. Just everybody from everywhere was in this city, you know?
Dude, like fucking Chappelle, when he was when Chappelle was talking about that, it was like this lady, the lady that was pissed off at him at one of his comedy shows, and he was like, she was Asian too. I could see it in her face. Everyone starts laughing, and he was like, and then she had her husband there with her. He's like, I couldn't pin this motherfucker. I couldn't tell he's Puerto Rican, Cuban. I didn't know. All I know is he was cool as shit. Because I asked him, and he goes, I'm Mexican, bro. And he's like, alright. That's what that made me think of. And he was like, and his wife was Asian. I could see it in her face. Dude. And then at the end, he's like, surprise, bitch, my wife's Asian too. See her on Thanksgiving. It's like, oh my god. That bitch just walked into it. She had no. And then he's like, with all due respect, ma'am, Chinese people don't buy DVDs. Dude, I fucking lost it when he said that shit. Oh my god, dude. Fucking Chinese people don't buy DVDs. There was one.
That place was wild to like see a bunch of people. I have to say, hottest women too.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I bet.
you know, hottest women in like every shade imaginable. Like whatever color woman you wanted to find.
Oh, and I bet every shape and size too. Am I wrong?
Every shape and like just whatever you wanted, it was just there.
Because tell me,
Every time I imagined a girl, I would see her. Like, I wonder if I could see a girl that looks like this, and boom, she was like
right there. Like, dude, I've never been, like, don't get me wrong, I've hooked up with a thick girl every now and then, but, like, I've never had a thing for fat chicks, right? But I just have this weird fucking thing for chubby Japanese girls. Not fat girls, but, like, just, you know what I mean? Like, portly. It's like,
that is an extreme rarity.
Oh, I know. You don't see them because over there they're all, like, they're all what American women wish they looked like.
Like, you'll see fatter dudes, like, you'll see fat guys.
Oh, yeah,
like,
fat dudes all over the place, but with women, you don't. Not that I've been, I know from people who have been. And my buddy, I have a buddy that's living there right now, as a matter of. No, actually, he was there, and now he's in Germany, I'm sorry. And he's about to move to Hawaii. But he was a helicopter mechanic stationed in Okinawa. And he would tell me all the same things you're saying, too. He's like, dude. He's like, I'm so thankful. He's like, I'm so glad I met my wife before I moved over here, or I would be in so much shit. He's like, I'd have so many fucking kids. I was like, yeah, I don't doubt it for a second, Leo.
Bro, for real.
Well, let's put it this way: his dad was like in his mid-70s when we were in high school. So that kind of gives you an idea. And he has dozens of children.
I don't doubt Leo. So, you feel like they're conservative, but they're also just, you know, kind of nasty, and they don't really like play games, man. They want to get, if they want to get down to business with you, they're gonna get down to business. You know?
Like they just walk up and be like, "Yo, just drop it, let's go."
Yeah, but that's why the love hotels are so fucking popular. They're everywhere.
See, that's why they need that shit here too. Like, it's not like prostitution per se. You're just like, you just need a place to fuck real quick. Like, I'm not trying to pay no $80
they're all
for a
next
full
to
night.
the clubs and the bars and stuff. So it's like, hey, you meet a chick at a club or the bar. You don't want to go to her place. She doesn't want you to go to her place. And, you know, hey,
Are there
let's
any?
just go right here across the street for a couple hours.
Are there any gaming parlors within a 5-mile radius of these love motels?
Yeah. All that shit is usually all in the same area.
That cracked me up because usually you would think the opposite, right? It's like all the nerds would be like, but no, it's different country, different culture, man.
No, it'll be like 2 blocks over, like where the games are.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just because like everything's kind of like so dense and compact. You just walk over.
Yeah. Population density too is next level. It's so funny too because like people would always take my one complaint. I don't want to say one, but like biggest complaint about living in the city, especially in New Braunfels here recently, is the overpopulation. And they would take that and run with it to the extreme and like thinking that I meant like the world is overpopulated, and I'm like, no dude, like there is way more than enough space on this planet for every man, woman, and child like 4 times over. I was like, it's the cities,
just don't make
the
a
fucking
good use
urban.
of
Yeah, we don't make good uses of space at all. I was like, the fact that we have urban centers at all is like, that's one of the major reasons that we have, quote, overpopulation.
And our urban centers are designed terribly too. Because like in Tokyo, it's you kind of like, wow, there's like 20 million fucking people here, but it all works.
Yeah.
But the only like big crowded problem is the trains in the morning. That was a sight to see, getting pushed into a fucking train with all those people, and you just definitely can't.
Oh yeah. Start then stop it and.
Like, it works. Everybody.
Like, alright, who touched my dick that time?
That's why they have, like, women-only cars in the morning time, because that's where it's, like, most crowded and everybody's pushed in. There's, like, certain cars on trains where only women are allowed to go on.
And everyone's walking around with morning wood for the first hour.
That's still a problem. Well, I was like, yeah, people, like, ask me, I was like, yeah, Japan's safe. You know, you're a dude. It's super safe. I mean, it's safer for women. You won't get shot.
That's the
You
thing
will
too, dude.
probably
This
get
country,
bad,
like,
but you'll probably still get touched or something.
and see, and I'm one of those weirdos that's like, I'm not a gun nut by any stretch of the imagination, but I love my guns, right? I don't own any at the moment, but that's simply because I haven't had the money to purchase one. Like, I want one, and I want one really badly, especially after seeing all my stepdads. My stepdad has some badass guns.
Because
But
with my dad passing, I'm up to 5 now.
there's just, the thing is especially in the United States, there's just too many fucking total idiots that have them. Like, in my mind, there should only be 2 requirements to own a firearm, or actually 2 with a 3rd conditional depending on the second. So the first is obviously your age, right? You just have to be of age, right? And have a valid ID. So that goes with the age. So that's 2 for 1. And then this other one is you have to take an IQ test, alright? If you fail the IQ test, but you can pass like a psychological exam to prove that you're not a crazy piece of shit, alright, then you pass. Then that's your stipulation, right? That doesn't seem too unreasonable to me. Like, if you're a psychopath,
we need to make sure you got like a good gun safe at your house or some shit.
And then if you have children, like,
yeah, you need to be like mandated to have a gun safe. Like, if you have kids,
not just that, but your children should also be mandated to have psych exams periodically as well. Because if one of your kids, if you would fuck up and end up raising a crazy ass kid because you're a shit parent, then your guns get taken away. Your guns, not everyone else's guns. Your guns. You know what I mean? Like, that, it seems like a pretty...
child should be, like, federally required to have a gun safe and make sure that shit's locked up. And, like,
oh, no,
if the gun is used and your kid uses your gun, you're going to jail just along with that kid, too.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but I think, too, part of this should fall on the manufacturers, but in only one regard. And that's in the technological one, because they know it's well within their capacity that they could equip their shit with biometrics. That would be so fucking easy in the 21st century right now. The biometrics have been around for 40 fucking years minimum. Like, and they've gotten better and better and better to the point that now, like, you could make a gun to where it will not fire without the actual owner's fingerprint. Do it. Like, why are we beating around that bush? Like, are you telling me that I can own a gun and no one can fire but me? Sign me the fuck up. Like, I'll do that in a heartbeat. And people are like, oh, let's give it up some fucking freedom for safety. I was like, what freedom? The freedom that let some other asshole use my gun in a fucking crime? No. Now, here's the deal. If I would have, like...
Then, like, hackers will start, like, copying your fingerprints and then, like...
possibly.
And then they'll get...
But it would have to be connected to the internet is the thing. Like, you know, if it's not connected to the internet, then it's unhackable. But... my thing is, too, is, like, if we go to a shooting party, right? And I want to let a buddy use it. Like, hey, he wants to hit this fucking keg or something, right? Well, he can't fire it. Well, you can make it to where you can maybe temporarily disable that for, like, a 10 or 15 minute window, right? Give your buddy the opportunity to get his rocks off, get the gun back, and that way it's like that's a fail-safe. You know, it just automatically re-engages, and then you have to re-unlock it to let... or maybe that's how it works, is that once you unlock it, it just stays unlocked for 5 minutes. And then, you know, if you loosen your grip on it, you have to unlock it again 5 minutes later, you know. If you maintain your grip, it stays unlocked. I don't understand why that... Huh? I can't hear you.
My mic, it starts to cancel out my sound. I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh. I'm gonna hit this bowl. Ha! Good. Keep her stupid ass over there. Bud Light is getting themselves in some hot fucking water. Jesus, people are fucking retarded. Cool. Alright. What's going on over here? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Water. Oh, gnarly. Fuck me. Alright. Time to smoke the rest of this weed.
Did you watch that last season of South Park?
Oh, no, I haven't seen any South Park in a minute.
Oh, man. They had an episode that was just like they personally wrote that shit for me.
Also,
It was called Japanese Toilet. And like Randy like buys himself one of the Japanese toilets with all the features and everything, and it just like goes on to a long rant about like the toilet paper industry being evil and controlling stuff, and like they say some like true stuff about like how we as Americans use toilet paper and kind of like how gross we are about it. Like the rest of the world has like bidets and scrubbers and stuff like that, but we're still using fucking paper, and like how much trees actually get used for fucking toilet paper and like how terrible it is. But like the toilet he had, I was just like, because I had just got back from Japan the first time, and I was like, oh my god, he's not lying. I had that toilet. Those toilets are fucking real. They do everything he's saying, and I can't go back to a regular toilet, bro. I'm so fucking mad. The toilet even have a fucking feature where you're like going to fucking town and it's a little ladder. You can like press a button and it plays like white noise and music and water noises to cover up what you're doing.
That's hilarious.
It was so fucking funny because I looked at the switch and I was like, all right, that's the bidet, that's like the front wash, it oscillates, and I was like, what's this musical button? Like, why are there musical notes? Let me press this fucking button and all of a sudden like it just gets really loud and it's playing like white noise and like it's like music coming up and I was like, this is crazy.
It'd be hilarious if there was a soundbite of a fucking nuclear bomb going off.
Right? I bet you, I mean, because you could probably program yours to like do that.
Probably do custom sounds and shit. That dude,
but yeah,
how hysterical would that be? And not just for the cultural context, but just the actual context of dropping a dude asleep.
Just like, I got like war zone noises and stuff
That'd be so funny,
going on. But bro, man, we're done. We're done when it comes to fucking punch, bro. I never want to use another different toilet again. Like, they had the hot water feature and like the warm seats, and it wasn't like, oh my god, somebody was on this toilet seat before me warm. It was like, oh, this is like a nice leather fucking Cadillac warm seat and a beautiful car warm seat.
Right.
Like, so, bro, like, you gotta, like, if you're gonna save up, definitely save up and come to Japan with me when I go back. Or, like, come visit me.
Shit, dude, that's on my bucket list of countries to visit is Japan, for sure. For a multitude of reasons. You know, Japan is a UFO hotspot, too? I don't know which specific areas of Japan.
I was like fucking shooting because of love and shit. North Korea shooting shit at.
No, I mean, like, I think it was in, like, 2017 or 18. There was what would be considered a mass sighting, because there was more than, I think it's like more than 15 or 20 people, I forget the threshold. It's not that much, though. It was some small village, like on the western coast of Japan, and they saw what amounted to the same thing that the Navy pilots reported seeing off the coast of Catalina Island in 2004. But they saw it like just a few years ago, doing the same sort of shit. But that's not like, that's just the one that popped in my head. But like Japan, throughout, I'd say over the last probably about the same amount of time as the U.S. About 50, 60 years, 60, 70 by now actually. About the last 60, 70 years, they've been reporting a lot of shit like that in their skies. It's just less frequency over there, I would imagine, because like with the cities being more dense and having way more lights, you don't really see nearly as much of the night sky as you do even over here in some of the cities.
Yeah, but then like when you go out to the country,
oh yeah, I'm sure you can see everything.
Completely fucking different, like, cause like I was in Tokyo, and then I'm kind of like in that resort town, so there's lights there. But when I went to the place that was like out by Mount Fuji, where that's just like really small houses and stuff like that, no tall buildings, like that motherfucker was dark.
Yeah.
It was dark.
Yeah, because all you have at that point is your lights on your houses, right, on the individual buildings, and that's basically it.
Right.
Maybe a street light, and that's it.
Yeah. Look up, it's dark. You don't see any light pollution out that way.
And see, what's weird is here, like, well, just specifically where I am, is I'm close enough, I'm far enough out in the country where, like, on a really clear night, holy shit, like, you could see the entire Milky Way, and, like, there's a couple, for lack of a better term, they're street lights, right, but they're not on the street, they're, like, up here on this neighbor's property, and then there's one in our other neighbor, and they're between them and the people behind them. So they're nowhere near the street, but that's what they are, right? Well, they're like, they were placed in such a way that the trees eventually grew over them. So they're meant to just light the ground and the area around them, right? So that they do their job. but they don't really pollute the light around us because unless you're looking at it, because you don't even notice it. They're hidden behind all the trees and shit. Like, you have to actually be looking at it to notice it. So you don't even. But what's weird is we're close enough to New Braunfels and San Marcos and even Austin on certain nights. Whenever it has to have like a certain type of fog in the air where it's not really on the ground, but it's kind of hovering in the air. Where I think it's based on the humidity. I'm not sure. But anyway, if the fog is at a certain altitude, you can see the glow of the city lights bouncing off from all around. And you can tell the different cities. I could look to the right and see New Braunfels. I could look dead ahead and there's San Marcos, and then look to the left. And like I said, on really rare nights, you look left and you can see a faint glow off in the really far north where Austin is. It's that bright. And the thing is even if, like, let's say there was no hills, right? No hills or anything, it was just flat earth between here and Austin. The curve of the earth would prevent me from seeing Austin at all. And not just that, but the distance. But also, that's how bright it is that being that far with all the hills and all that, you can still see that glow hitting off the bottoms of the clouds sometimes.
You know who's fixed that problem in all their cities? Fucking anywhere in Hawaii. Even like in their major cities, like you'll see how their street lights are all designed to literally only point downwards, and they're all like this color orange hue instead of being white or the silver or the blue color. They're all the orange color, and they make sure that they always point directly down. They do not point anywhere like above. So it's like it'll be bright at your eye level, but as soon as you look up, it's just like, oh, it's dark as fuck out there, and you can see the sky. And like all Hawaii's
actually
really
you know, there's a reason for that, and it's not actually, I'm sure there's a multitude, but there's two very, very good reasons. One of them is obvious because it's cultural, right? Because it's Hawaii.
Yeah. Like the law, man.
But the other reason isn't one that you would think of immediately, but it's probably the reason that actually got the streetlights built the way they were before the cultural reason did. And that's because the Keck Observatory is in Hawaii. And the islands are so small that they had regular, like when they first installed the telescope, it was getting mad interference, bro. You couldn't really see shit. And then they changed all the street lights, and then boom, you can see everything. And they're like, holy fuck, you can see way out in the deep space. But the cultural reason, that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, because then it's more like old school Hawaii before all the tech and shit showed up. But then I'm thinking about it as a scientist, and I'm like, wait a minute, the Keck is there. I was like, that's why they did it.
Think about why the government would want to do it.
Right.
It's like, well, because you know the government really doesn't give two shits about their culture. So why would they really go along? The culture is the reason why they're telling us publicly. But it's like there had to be a reason for them to. It's like, all their technology can see better. And
the cultural reason is the feel-good, nostalgic narrative that's painted, but the critical thinkers are like, wait a minute, I forget that observatory. It's up. I forget the name of the hill.
Most of Hawaii's a damn military base.
Oh yeah, like, the military and everything. Pearl Harbor.
It's a military base.
Huh?
Like the land at least belongs to the military.
What? The Keck? I'm not sure. I think the land does, but I think the observatory itself is privately owned.
Because I know one of the islands of Hawaii is 100% privately owned. One of the tiny ones?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Zuckerberg is basically trying to buy up an entire island himself.
That's crazy. I kind of wanted to move to Hawaii at first, but that shit's way expensive.
That's the only thing, is the cost of living is just insane, man. If it wasn't for that, like, or if I knew that I could get away with just living mostly off of the land and the water without really having to do much, then. But the thing is I would have to have things like eggs and shit, so I would have to keep chickens.
You gotta like learn how to like if you can homestead really well and maybe like know a person or two, then you could do it for cheap. There's a lot of like cheap ass fixer upper houses that need a lot of work, but like all of these that I was looking at.
In other words, former meth labs.
Right, they kind of looked like it, but most of them were completely off grid. Like you had to learn how to take care of your solar energy and you learn how to use your water tank and stuff. But they weren't connected to any of the utilities out there.
That's my
only,
kind of shit.
Affordable places you could go. So that's kind of like what stopped me, because I was just like, I don't know enough about this shit to do that. I'm going to waste my fucking money. And that's how I ended up looking for Japan.
But that's hilarious too, because it's
like the same tropic region, you know.
and that's my kind of shit too. Is like, I mean, I'll be the first to head to to the grocery store, right? But at the same time, if it was like, well, hell, that's actually part of my plan. Is like once I have the money and I'm financially in an area where I can actually buy whether it's just land to start or house or whatever. I'm going to, whether it's to start or eventually or something, it is going to be off-grid or off-grid capable in terms of the electric and the water. Because the water, I could literally hand drill a well myself. Like, I know how to do it, I would just need the tools to do it. And the tools are pretty easy to either buy or make yourself. If you know
how to I can send you the site, and you'll see, like, they have these places for, like, $75K, where it'd be like a 2-2 looking cabin that needs a little bit of work, but it's like all of it's like, hey man, this place has a fucking well, it has like a septic tank you gotta take care of, this has solar fucking panels on it, bro. You're not connected to shit. You gotta take care of this.
Yep. See, and the septic tank is perfect because that's what we have out here already. So it would just be a matter of. I'm sure there's someone on the island that pumps it, you know.
Yeah, there's like companies and stuff you can always call and get somebody to do it.
Just come, and it's not that expensive. Even in Hawaii, it shouldn't be that much because that's just a local
service. I think it kind of
service.
is a premium because it's Hawaii. That's why, like, that kind of stuff costs more because they have to like send it off to specific places.
Oh, I know that's right because I forgot they don't have a plant there. They have to send.
You gotta remember, like, nah, bro, you're in Texas. It is cheaper for you because all that shit's right there. But they gotta remember they gotta ship a lot.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not just that, but yeah, there's like ours. They have to quote ship it, but they're literally just putting it in a truck and driving it down the road to fucking San Antonio. But in Hawaii, I forgot that there was a law passed somewhere. there was a law passed in like the 80s or 70s, perhaps, that basically banned any sort of sewage treatment plants on any island. So now they have to. Either that or have an outhouse, and so that's another option. Is just that's probably what I would do, is have an out. If I was in Hawaii, is have an outhouse, but I would build it in a way that you wouldn't know it was an outhouse. So basically, it would still be a functional toilet. It would just be like it would have a leach field connected to it. So rather than having a septic tank in the ground, it would just be like a. Like, you know how they used to do it way back in the medieval days where it was like really deep? Kind of, but like really, really, really deep and really narrow, and that would be connected to a leach field that's like off, way off at the back of the property. Because that would actually fertilize, all of the soil and shit too, actually.
Because they probably wouldn't want that. That was like the crazy thing about why, like, it's. Like, you gotta pay either top dollar for something, or you better know how to follow all these laws and be a complete homesteader on your own.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would homestead it for sure. So that way, like, no one would be able to fuck me. As long as you'd still have to follow, like, environmental shit and everything.
But then, if you're confident in that route, I'd suggest Puerto Rico. Well, if you can handle hurricanes, I'd suggest Puerto Rico.
Oh, fuck, dude. Here's the thing. People are idiots. People move to a place like Puerto Rico or Miami or even Houston, and they build regular-ass houses, right? For the most part. And I'm like, nah. I would move there, yeah, but I would spend the extra $40,000, $50,000 that it would take to actually hurricane-proof my shit. And I don't mean just the house. Like, my whole property would be like, my patio chairs wouldn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of level I'm talking about. Like, and I have the type of mind to where if I can't find someone to do it to pay, I'm gonna do it myself. You know, like I'm gonna go and do all the math and physics and shit I have to do to figure out what I need to build and how I need to build it to withstand a Cat 5 hurricane. Like, fuck all this fucking DARPA shit and all this shit that all these cunts at the government are doing. Like, I could do it for pennies on the dollar. Make that shit a tank. At that point I would build an Earth ship, but I would make it nice. I wouldn't make it like, you know, the ones that they build out in the desert in Arizona and Utah, they look like shit. They do. Like, they serve their purpose, and they, on the inside, they're pretty cool.
Like people who didn't have like any kind of creativeness, really.
Right.
I've seen a couple that were like really pretty, but yeah, the most part.
The ones that I saw that looked really good, you know what they looked more like? Instead of Earth ships, they looked like Hobbit houses.
Yeah, but yeah,
that's
like
what
the
I'm
good ones
thinking.
I think it remind you exactly of.
That's what I'm thinking. Fucking Hobbit house, bro, all day long. But I would have, instead of just like a straight up grass roof, it would be like, well, it would be grass, I guess, but it would be manicured. I wouldn't just let it overgrow. It would look nice at all times. But I'd also have it landscaped, because I've done landscaping too, so I know a thing or two about that. And I would have it, dude, I'm telling you, it would be so hurricane proof that it wouldn't get a drop. It would be underground and it wouldn't get a drop of water inside of it. Not a single drop. The
land and stuff out in Puerto Rico right now.
Huh?
I said, well, there's cheap land and stuff out in Puerto Rico right now.
And I wouldn't need a passport to go back and forth either.
Like, me and my cousin, when we were headed to Japan, we were talking to like this older white couple. And they were telling us that they just got like a property house in like Costa Rica, and they were getting some more in like Central America along the coast, because shit was cheap out there, and you could like just rent it out. And I was like, oh, so that's what the white people are doing with their money right now. They're going to Central America, cool.
Right.
Yeah, and get dibs on that too. Gotta play the game just like them, man.
Holy shit, yeah, dude, here's a 1 acre lot for $10,000. That's roughly what it costs out here.
Right? Where you looking?
To fucking Puerto Rico, yeah.
Oh, dude. I was like, yeah, Puerto Rico's cheap as fuck right now.
It's not like on the water or anything, but it's close enough. Like, it's probably about an hour's drive.
It's not that, I mean, at most, if you go to like the middle of Puerto Rico, I think you're like 2 hours.
And see, this isn't even in the middle. That's what I'm saying. It's like maybe like an hour and a half from the nearest beach, tops. Like I would do that in the day.
And it was like in the middle of Puerto Rico, but it was like 2 separate houses. It was a 1-1 house, and then it was like a duplex that was like a 2-2. And it was one property on one set of land, and it was like $150,000. I was like, man, it is like in the smack dab of Puerto Rico, but I would just live in the 1-1 myself and like just Airbnb out the fuck out of that 2-2. The 2-2-2s. There was 2-2-2s. There was a duplex. And I was like, I'd Airbnb out the duplex and just live on the 1-1.
I want to see what the most expensive property for sale on Zillow in Puerto Rico is. Let's see. Price, I don't know. 25 million, and it's just a lot, but it's 100 acres, and it's beachfront. And then
well, man, if you have the kind of money with that, you can develop it.
Oh yeah.
And then you're making hell of money. You're making your own beach resort at that part.
Fuck yeah.
But actually, like the lady we were talking to, who had our B&B like this, like she was like this Puerto Rican lady, an older woman, and her and her sister had basically bought the building, and it was like 4 condo units in it, and they had just bought the building. I think they only paid like $200,000.
Jesus Christ!
It wasn't bad at all. It was real nice, and how they were fixing it up, it was really nice.
Okay, now that was the most expensive property, right? 25 mil. The most expensive house for sale on Zillow is 45 million. A massive 5,600 square foot house, 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. That's nuts.
Yeah, but man, when you go look at Houston or some shit, like even San Antonio probably got it. I bet San Antonio has $100 million.
Dude, there is no fucking way. Oh, no wonder. It's like built on a hill and it's about to fall over. It's 8,000 square feet? Oh, the property is.
Where'd you go? Okay.
Bro, what? There is no fucking way. This thing has to have, like, mad water damage in it. There's just no way.
I would say some of those buildings probably do got, like, some hurricane damage and stuff done with it. But, I mean, if you know construction and speak a bit of Spanish, bro, you...
No, it's actually... It's because it's small. It's actually in great shape. It could use work, though. Probably, like... I would do new cabinets, paint, you know, just a good once-over. Nothing, I wouldn't even call it a remodel. Just do a couple odds and ends here or there, redo the metal working on the front gate and shit. Probably paint the concrete, but $58,000, 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 790 square feet.
How close to the beach is it?
Holy shit. It is, let's see. It's not showing me a fucking scale here. It's very close. Like, there's the city of Salinas, which is on the southern coast of Puerto Rico. And that runs into another little town called Coco, and that's where that house is, in Coco. It's just a couple miles from Salinas, so it's probably 20 minutes from the ocean. Here's a 4-bedroom for $90,000, and this one is in foreclosure. It's just over 1,000 square feet. It's only 1 bathroom though. What's with these houses only having 1 bathroom? Oh yeah, that one definitely had hurricane damage. You can see it. That's probably why it was foreclosed. They were like, fuck that, I ain't paying for that. This one's 110,000, and this one is in Salinas. Looks like they already did all the work on it. Yeah, they just remodeled that not that long before they put these pictures up. That's not bad either, 110,000, but it's only 770 square feet, 780. But the whole property is 3,000 square feet, so you could 100% add on to it.
You definitely
Or just tear it down altogether and build something new. Because $110,000, that's worth it just for that lot right there where it is. Wait, where did it go? Where did it go? I don't see a green dot anywhere. Where is this fucking house at, man? Oh. Okay, this is frustrating. It's not showing. It's on Gaia, Puerto Rico, Las Antillas Salinas. Guess I could just Google it. Yeah, it's right there. No idea where this house is, but it looks like it's pretty close to the fucking ocean. That $100,000 house. And like I said, that's the thing about moving to Puerto Rico is that I wouldn't need a passport if I wanted to come back to the States. Just get on a flight. Or a boat if I'm feeling intrepid. You know what I mean? You there, T?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was trying to read against this case for the National Labor Board versus Exxon Mobil.
What? Oh, I know what I would hate.
But everything's under a damn paywall. This is why stupid news takes over, because all like the good websites where you get like really good information are always behind some fucking paywall.
Yep.
Like they literally block you. I was like, why so many people like believe such fake news? Because the fake news is fucking free.
Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you earlier, because you were talking about that artist, right, allowed you to, you said that you made prints, right, of his stuff? Is that what you were saying? Or shirts? I can't remember what you said earlier.
The guy who makes my pins?
Yeah, oh, it was your, no, I can't remember. You said something, like, about the Atlanta pictures, the characters?
Yeah, he drew those faces of the...
Oh, for your, oh, but he did it for your pins, right?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
well, he drew the faces, and I was like, wow, these faces would make really good pins.
Oh, okay. So I don't know why you, like, I thought I heard you say prints, not pins. But anyway, so he helped you make the pins. So, it made me think, and reminded me, I want to start a fucking line of shirts that are like, kind of along the lines of, you remember Big Johnson? From the 90s? The Big Johnson shirts?
Big Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, something along those lines, right? But it would be political, and every shirt would basically show how both right and left in terms of American politics are fucking utterly retarded. And then somehow display how the public is even more retarded for not understanding that as dumb as the government and as inept as the government is, they're not even the real people that we should be upset with, right? But like, to kind of throw it in everyone's face at how stupid they are, because one, I know that because people are so dumb, they'd be like, the Republicans would be like, they'd see, oh, I'm making fun of Democrats, and they'd buy it. The same thing for the Democrats. They'd be, oh, he's fucking making fun of it, they'd buy the shirt. Neither one of them realizing that I'm making fun of both of them at the same time. Like, that sounds like a pretty deep idea for just a t-shirt, but that's kind of the point, right? Is that they wouldn't understand. I would make it look stupid, make it appealing to idiots, right? Oh, he's making fun of Biden. He's making fun of Trump. I'm gonna buy that shirt.
Bro, you do not know how tempted I always am to make fucking Let's Go Brandon pins. Just all the time. I'm so tempted to make them.
You know it would sell like hotcakes.
I know it, because I know exactly where to sell them at, too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just go to a gun show or some shit. Like, I definitely know which cities to go to.
Yeah. You should do 2 pins. You should do one that says Let's Go Brandon and then another one that says Trump lost.
Right, exactly. I thought about like just making, because I call my company on Independence, I call it Pendependence Colorado, yeah. And I thought about just doing a Pendependence Texas, and I was like, well, that Pendependence Texas would have more of all the conservative stuff.
Right. No, that's how you could roll with it though. Like, do all the leftist stuff up in Colorado and then all the right stuff on your Texas store.
Right, and I'll just like take a picture of me with the beard and then me without the beard and be like, no, that's my cousin. You don't really wrong.
And I don't even want to say leftist really, because Colorado isn't even really that leftist. They're just more liberal than Texas is, because there's a lot of conservative people up there too. But
right, that's how we got
it's a little more laxed up there, I would assume, based on y'all's laws and shit. But I mean, like, as opposed to California, that's next level. You know what I mean? That's leftist. That is like.
I would say Colorado is a purple state.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, more or less. Which Texas is too, but that's just like from a distance.
Wasn't gerrymandered book.
That's like from a distance, right? When you get up close and you see they're like, yeah, the way everything is separated, you're like, okay, now I know why it looked
that whole mail-in ballot shit that was recently admitted about Ken Paxton, about how he like hindered the mail-in ballots on purpose, and he was like, yeah, Biden probably would have won Texas if I didn't stop all the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
That's great. Man, these mail-in ballots are so fucking easy. It's so ridiculous. Like, coming from Texas voting and up to here voting, because like Colorado makes it just so easy to vote, bro. It's like there's almost like no excuse not to vote.
They literally just mail you a ballot, right? And you fill it out and you send it back.
And you just send it back. And like the one thing that blows my mind, and I think it's real fucked up, Texas doesn't do this, is that it comes with this book that literally explains and like the easiest fucking terms what these goddamn amendments mean when you vote yay or nay against them.
Right.
It will be like, if you vote yay on this prop, this is what is going to happen, this is what it does. If you vote nay, this is what's going to happen, this is what it does. And then like the next couple pages literally like gives you a very non-biased argument of like why you should do it and why you shouldn't do it. Like, what are people who say want it for, and what the people say who don't want it for.
Right.
And it tells you what the statistics, like if it's like something for taxes, it'll give you like the charts and shit of like how taxes were used in the past and how it's been going up, and it gives you all the information about them. And I'm just like, why doesn't Texas want you to be informed about what you're voting on? Like, what's so hard about that? That's fucked up.
It's, dude, the people that run the power states, right? And by power states, I mean like the biggest like economic contributors, like California, Texas, New York, Florida, right? They're hell bent on like, you know, trying to get their agendas done and nothing else. They don't give a fuck how they get elected. They don't give a fuck who elects them. They don't care what happens after they get elected. And this is what, like, I tell people this all the time. When especially on Instagram, I see idiots going back and forth about, you know, Republican this and Democrat that, and I'm like, telling them, you know, without specifically talking about this state or that state. And I would tell them, I was like, how long are y'all gonna let both parties fuck y'all in the ass with that red, white, and blue dildo before you realize that they're both fucking you in the ass with the same dildo? And then I was like, to make matters worse, I was like, so they're talking, and this is just in like the most general terms, about how the Democrats are wanting to destroy the country, this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, that might be true, and they're open about it. I was like, on the other hand, the Republicans want to do the exact same thing, but they want to do it without your knowledge. I was like, and then both of them want to turn around and piss on your leg and tell you it's raining. I was like, so y'all tell me who's more fucked up in this situation. The politicians who are pissing on your leg and telling you it's raining, or the stupid fucks who keep putting them in office? Like, because right about now it's looking like it's not the politicians' fault after it's election after election after election. You know what I mean? Because, like, look at Texas. Governor after governor after governor is just inept, not getting shit done, shit regressing in most areas like education and STEM fields and shit. The only places that we're excelling is oil and business. And that's it. And sports. Like, whoopty shit. You know what I mean? And California, they haven't been contributing for what, like 10 years? Colorado, they've been contributing fucking leaps and bounds for, what was it, they've been legal for 10 years now almost? And they've been contributing more than probably either of those states put together.
That's why we got this fucking homeless goddamn problem, because everybody keeps shipping all their damn homeless to us.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. You ought to see like, Austin though, dude. That shit has exploded in Austin. Holy shit.
It's ridiculous because it just like, it purposely defeats the system. It's like Colorado comes up with these laws that people are like, you're too like caring about the homeless, and then they work and they're working well, but then all these other states don't want to get on board and they just overwhelm our own system. Like, our system can only handle so fucking much, and all these other states just trying to prove us wrong send all their fucking homeless to us, man.
And they continually prove those other states wrong, though, in the process.
Buses from, like, different states have just been dropping off people.
That's ridiculous.
Like that episode with South Park with the homeless, and they bust theirs to California. That's true. That's what's been going on. People keep busting homeless everywhere.
And illegals and everything else. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. Just the literal game that these cocksuckers are playing with these illegals. Like, I don't give a fuck, you know, their reason for being here. They're here illegally, so they ought to go fucking deport them or whatever the fuck. But what they're actually doing with them is so much fucking worse than just sending them back home. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, dude, it's so insulting to them. It's insulting to their home countries. It's insulting to us. Like, the rest of the world isn't looking at that going, oh yeah, that's awesome. These guys are hilarious. You know, no. The rest of the world is looking at us going, what in the fuck is going on over there? We're the laughing stock of the world, man. We have been for a while. I don't know though, because we seem pretty popular still in certain countries, but it's like we go to other countries, it's like, fuck you, America.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't had any issues going overseas. trying to think of where I've been. Because like the UK, yeah, no one really cared. Ireland, yeah, no one really cared. Amsterdam, they're just nudie to fucking everybody because they don't like tourists anymore.
They're just tired of people ruining their shit.
Yeah, they just don't like tourists, period. Vietnam was probably the funniest. They were like cocky. We were like, oh, yeah, American, we beat you in war. How you doing?
That's awesome. That would have been hilarious,
yeah, dude.
dude.
But there are some of like the nicest fucking things people do. I met like this hustler dude who like, you know, definitely like takes tourists on like these fast getaway trips and then like charges them an arm and a leg. But I had nothing better to do that day, and he was able to get me like some short as soon as I got there, and it was like, man, something like a week. So I was in Singapore earlier. You don't want to fucking break the laws there.
Oh yeah.
And he's
That's
like,
like
I
some
get you
locked
some
up
weed.
broad shit.
And it was like this like definitely like this like 70-year-old man. I'm like just cruising around on the back of his fucking moped going down Vietnam. He like takes me to go like pick up some weed, and then he like drops me around to like all the like top tourist spots to take pictures, and he gives me some food and stuff, and we're just like chilling and hang out. And then he's like, okay, I'll be like $100. And I was like, look, I know what you're doing. How about I give you $60?
It's like the company, man. Come on, like it's worth something.
It was like, no, I know it's not that much.
He's like, it was a 15-minute boat ride, man. Come on.
Now I think it was like a good 3 or 4 hours.
No, I'm just kidding. It's like some Venice shit, though. You know what I mean? Like you're going across town, it takes like 20 minutes to get there, dude.
Bro, yeah, you do gotta be careful about that. That shit does happen, but that's everybody trying to just get like, I don't know. Because if you know, like, me and you, like, you come from like a hustler culture, it's
Yeah.
And go to these other countries, you kind of like find it funnier that that's like their whole society too. And you go along with it. You're like, you know, like it's easy to pick up on the scam.
Yeah, and
like,
plus
all the scam videos I always watch, or like before I go to a country, I'm just like, oh, I know this scam. Oh, I know what they're doing. I know how it works.
And plus, I see right through it too, and I'm like, this guy, he's doing it like 9 times out of 10. They're doing it for 1 out of 2, if not both reasons. It's either because they're just trying to feed themselves and their families, or they're just trying to get one over on someone. That's pretty much the 2 reasons that they do it, you know. Like, sometimes the guys just do it for the thrill. They're just like, hey, these tourists, you know, I can take these guys. They're like, you know, they're green, they're wet behind the ears, they've never been here. Like, let's see how much I can squeeze out of them. $200, alright, fuck, that's all we got. Now we're stuck. Now we gotta go wash dishes somewhere, like. Not to that extent, but you get what I'm saying. Like, some of them are fleecing you just to fleece you. Some of them are doing it because they're actually trying to get by, you know.
And then you gotta like know that like a lot of these people don't know how to like haggle. It's like, man, like prices aren't what the prices are, man. They'll tell you one price and you just immediately ask for like 80% lower. If you know they're just marking shit up.
Yeah, and then you start flaunting American money.
I like being like behind people who don't know that and just watching them get ripped off when they pay for stuff. And they're like, bro, you just do that.
Do you actually give them American money though when you do that, or are you like?
No, I always change my stuff to the local currency.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because I bet some of those people would go nuts if they actually saw American money. They'd be like,
nah, they never really want U.S. dollars. They want that stuff.
Because they can't really use it, right? Because unless they have to go down and change it, and then they get charged whatever fee, you know.
Right, yeah, and you'll see like a lot of like international exchange money places like that cheap for that. So it's best to always just make sure your bank doesn't charge you like crazy ATM fees. Or you know what I do now, which is convenient. I have a AAA membership, and AAA will give you like a bunch of currencies money, countries' currencies money at like a real like almost like no fee.
Nice, almost like an even exchange rate.
Yeah, basically just like a bank.
How did you get that? Did you inherit that or something?
What?
The AAA, or you just signed up?
No, I signed up. I think it was like $30 or something.
Yeah, it's not that much. I was looking at it one time and it was not that expensive.
And
you
then
get a lot
with
of cool shit with it too.
You could pay like another $30, or like it's really only $20. I had to pay $30 because I didn't have a passport picture already taken. To get your international driver's license, you just pay like $20.
Oh
and
shit!
You get an international driver's license. They just take your picture, they look at your license, and they're like, boom, yeah. And they're like, okay, now you can drive in all these countries.
I was gonna say, but it's only like in certain countries, though, right?
You need an international driver's license in countries that don't primarily speak English.
Huh. Well, I guess because the passport is all in English, then that's why.
Because your driver's license will be in English,
right?
And they can read that. So, like when I went to Ireland and I rented a car, I just gave them my driver's license, and that's all I needed. But for Japan, I rented a car, and to do that go-kart thing, that Mario go-kart, you need to have an international driver's license before you go to do the Mario go-kart.
That's nuts. I didn't know that.
Yep. And they need the international driver's license because there's a page in Japanese that says driver's license fall under the Geneva Convention, by the way.
What?
Yeah, like your driver's license falls under the Geneva Convention laws for being able to drive in different countries. And when you get the international driver's license, that's just confirming that you are qualified to drive. And then you have this document, and you read the document, and it says like, this document is in accordance to Geneva Convention article blah blah blah, which is for driving in these partnered up countries.
Oh, right. Now, is it only countries that have similar traffic laws to ours, or like can you go like in London, for instance, where they're driving on the left side and you go drive over there?
Japan is on the opposite side, bro.
I didn't know that. I thought they were on the right side.
Nope, they are not.
Because there's only a handful of countries that drive on the left side anyway, right?
Right, it's not, Ireland was one of them. That was the first time I had to drive on the opposite side.
See, I thought they were on the right as well. Even though they're UK, I thought they were on the right side.
Actually, yes, at one part. It's when you get to Northern Ireland.
And that makes sense, yeah.
But so Northern Ireland, the Republic of the part that's owned by England, is on the right side, and then the Ireland is on the left side. So it's weird, like when you cross over, like the roads just switch over, and all of a sudden, like the maps goes from kilometers back to miles again.
Right.
But yeah, in Ireland, you drive it's on the right. You're driving on the left side, and the steering wheel is on the right side of the car. That was a pain in the ass because the way that car was designed, it didn't have an armrest. And bro, my arm was fucked up for like 2 whole weeks.
Well, plus you're driving with the opposite arm too, I bet.
Because I had to drive with the opposite arm, and the way I had to hold my arm, dude, it like tore it out of this fucking socket. It was so fucking painful.
Now, speaking of Ireland, according to Star Trek, they're supposed to reunify next year.
Right? Bro, man, Star Trek's calendar's been like pretty on point, man.
Yeah. No, what fucking blew my mind is I'm sitting there, right, and I don't read a lot. I don't read any, actually, these dumbass, like, sponsored articles and sponsored posts on social media. This was about 10 years ago or so, maybe a little longer. And maybe it's like 2010, 2011. Because there was a huge press release and shit. And I was like, what? Like, no, this is some... one of those, fake fucking social media posts. I'll fucking read it anyway. And I was blown away. I was like, holy shit. So there was this Mexican physicist who was a massive Trekkie as he was growing up. I didn't really even get into it until, like, right before the pandemic. Like, I was already living in New Braunfels, and I started watching The Next Generation because they had it on Netflix, right? So I would just put it on episode 1, season 1, and I just started watching it all. And fucking fell in love with that show, right? And then I watched the movies too, the Next Generation movies. But this Mexican physicist was so obsessed with Star Wars, or Star Trek, I can't believe I just said that, with Star Trek, that he sat down and worked out all of the math with the current standard model of physics at the time. He worked out all the math for what's now known as an Alcubierre drive. His name was Miguel Alcubierre, and they call it the Alcubierre drive. It's basically the warp drive from Star Trek. It is, on paper, technically possible. We just don't have the technological capability to build the hardware necessary to make it happen. But on paper, the math works to build a warp drive. It'll happen long after we've already unlocked fusion, but fusion is just around the corner. Fusion is less than 20 years away. Like, actual practical application fusion. Because the R&D is pretty much about to start within the next, I'd say, 5 years. Because they're already doing the research part of it. The development part of it will start once they get the nuts and bolts aspects done. But then after that, they have to figure out marketing and how to make it publicly available. But once that happens, other companies will get on board, it'll get miniaturized, and then just like batteries, it'll be in everything, it'll power everything. And you won't have them wires for what? Everything will be powered by fusion. Your PC will be powered by fusion, your quantum computer, actually I should say, your quantum desktop, because they'll be so small at that point, they'll just sit on your desk. You won't need a 5-story cooling unit. What are you doing, Thor? Stupid cat. You're a dumbass. Shut up. Meow. Bad cat. You need to shut up.
I got to get a little early. I gotta meet the cleaners at the old apartment.
You gonna hop off? Alright.
Alright, later.
Alright then, man. We'll catch you later. Peace. Cat. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Alright. Let's see if I can take a few whacks at this before I can't beat the game. Oh yeah, get his ass, Tish. Get up, get up. Hell yeah, get him, Tish. No! Fuck! Fuck! You have got to be shitting me, dude. I can't believe I didn't heal. All I had to do was hit one heal and he would have been dead. Tish would have hit him with her... I really wish I could get that attack. No fucking way. Bro, I did not know I had that. I mean, I knew I had it, but I didn't know I had that capability. That is fucking sick. Yeah, this guy's fucked now. He's really fucked now. Fuck. Oh shit. Fucking cunt. Come on, Tish. You're a filthy bitch. Fucking Tish not doing her job yet again. Dude, he really needs to quit regenerating health. Hell yeah, get him, Tish, get him, Tish, get him. Don't let him get you. Get him, Tish. He's dead. Fucking dead. Fuck you. Dude! I fucking slid! You have to be shitting me, dude. People are fucking idiots. You dumb bitch. Of course. Bro! You can't be fucking serious right now. I don't have enough intelligence. Nope. fucking bitch. Come on. Fuck, dude. Oh my god. I was so close. Oh, if I just... You know what I think I need to do is I need one less FP flask and one more HP. I need to reallocate my flasks. Fuck. Getting so close, dude. So close, I can smell it. I can actually fucking smell it. Alright, this is my last go, and that's it. Dude. Shit. Dude, what the fuck? Why did it just turn toward him for no reason? Last of my FP, I have to save this shit for the Elden Beast. Fuck yeah, good shit, Tish. God damn it, I ran through it. Wow. God damn it, that fucking thing wouldn't stop chasing me. Alright, that's it for me. I'm out. Until work is over at midnight. Until then, deuces.